Thank you both for joining me today. I'm really excited to be meeting with you both. I know this is our first roundtable and meetup, so I'm really excited to start doing more of these just to, get to know you guys a little bit better, see what's going on with you, if there's any areas of opportunity to help us better support you. And also, I know this is a challenging topic, growing your pet care business online. It can be a little bit more than we all anticipate, from social media and creating a website. It really is a lot of work. So I'm really excited to kind of share some of the things I've learned along the way to see if some of them would be helpful for you. And also really excited to hear from you as to what you've seen work really well or anything that you've been struggling with, so we can be sure to kind of address some of those things along the way. So with that being said, let's go ahead and dive in. I'm trying to change the slide, so bear with me here. There we go. All right, so it works best if you participate. So if you guys have anything to add, to join in, please let me know. If you want to add something to agenda, the floor is yours. So there's no rules for today. Just participate as much or as little as you'd like. No pressure if you don't want to. But I'm really excited to dive in today. I'll be kind of the moderator and presenter today. In the future, it might go back and forth a little bit of having someone else present with me and me acting more of the moderator instead of a speaker. But for today's first meeting, I will be leading it. If you have any questions along the way, just let me know. So here's today's agenda. I think it's, as the world becomes a more digital place, as we're leaning towards everything being digitized, it's really important to have an online presence. So we'll talk a little bit more about why your business needs an online presence. We'll also talk about creating and managing your website or Facebook page. This has become a little bit easier in the recent years. Tools have become a little bit more robust and make it a little bit more user-friendly for people like you and I who might not be, coders or have a background in website development. On the Facebook side of things, content is king here. So just creating more content and really trying to increase engagement with your pet parents and also other followers. Google My Business is probably something that you've all heard of, or just My Business Profile. It's one of the best things that you can do to help grow your business online. So we'll be talking about that a little bit more. Next, I'll be sharing a few tips to get the most out of PetPocketbook. And last, I'll be sharing other resources from other pet care professionals and, of course, other organizations. So if you're interested in digging into these topics a little bit more, you can go ahead and do that. All right, let's dig in. All right, so first, when we think about what your business goals are, so that might be to bring in new business, get more reviews, save time communicating with prospective and current clients. So, when your clients are messaging you, I think the number one thing I hear from people is, I have to put my phone on Do Not Disturb at night because I have clients messaging me on my Facebook page or texting me at all hours of the night for visits. And it can be a lot to handle. So one of the ways that you can kind of save time is by having that website to kind of do some of the heavy lifting for you. So when we think about these things, your website and social media help you achieve these goals. So when it comes to bringing a new business, list your services, have a contact form so others, know how to reach out to you and learn a little bit more. Get more reviews. So after you provide services for a client, if you're, seeing them in home, or if you're leaving maybe a report card or something else like that, ask them for a review, or even offer incentives as to, why they should leave your review, whether it's, a discount or if it's maybe a free walk or service in the future. And then share reviews that people have left you as well. So that can help you grow your presence too. One of the things that I always encourage new pet care or new PetPocketbook clients to do is add a link to your website for your pet care software and encourage communication through the platform. That way you don't have to worry about, missed text messages, phone calls, emails, everything like that. All the requests can be submitted right through the platform, and then any messages can go right through the messenger as well. And ultimately, all these things will help you achieve your goals of growing your business. And when you think about one of your favorite businesses, maybe a local business, I always think of restaurants. One of the things that drives me crazy when I'm going to a restaurant and I can't find the menu online, I'm one of those people, if you tell me we're going out to dinner tonight, I'm Googling that website and I'm going to pick out what I'm having for dinner way ahead of time. So think about those types of things when you're building your website. Your menu could be the services that you're offering, the pricing that you have, or what makes you different or special. And of course, reviews. If you're going to someplace new, you always want to know, what's it like? What have others been saying? So of course, those are things to keep in mind when you're building your business and your online presence. So there's a couple different areas where your online presence really helps. And the first thing is increase your visibility. So when you think of, growing your business, you want other people to recognize you or your brand, and you can do that more easily online. So make it easier for others to learn about you. Social media helps tremendously with this, whether that be actual content and posts or whether that be stories on Instagram or Facebook. Stuff like that really allows you to increase your visibility and allow for your clients to really connect with you. The second thing is increase your trust and builds your reputation. So again, it's all about the reviews here. When you ask for reviews, you can do that from Google or Facebook. If you are on other websites as well, you can always ask for them there as well. And don't forget to ask your clients to leave those reviews for you. Don't be shy. If they enjoyed your service, I'm sure they'd be happy to leave your review. It also improves your customer service. So when you have a platform like PetPocketbook or you have a website, it can help you really connect with your clients and more easily get them booked, ask questions and answer those questions for you, and of course, share the feedback that you've had. It also allows others to connect with you. Don't be afraid to get personal. So this is the number one thing that I can stress today is your clients want to know about you. Their family members are their fur babies, their pets. This is why they're going to you. So they want to be able to trust you and know a little bit more about you. When I think of my pet care, Devin is my dog pet sitter, and I connect with her on a personal level. I love when she posts things about around town or if she's going to like a new spot with my dog. I love to see those different types of things and learn like what she connects with. And that helps me connect with her. And I know that Ruby will have a good time with her. Don't be afraid to show your face. So this is actually crazy, but did you guys know that Instagram posts receive 40% higher engagement when you're showing your face in either your posts or your stories? It's mind blowing to me. I don't know why or how, but people really like to see your face. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty camera shy normally. I don't like to be in photos. I don't like to be in videos, but having your face out there every now and then really does help increase engagement. So how many of you have a website or a Facebook page? I'm going to launch a poll here, so feel free to participate. So small businesses, about 73% do have a website or a Facebook page. Only 3.5% say no, and of course, 23.5 are planning to do so. So when we look at the results here, most of the people do have a website or are planning to have one soon. If you don't have a website yet, I definitely encourage you to create one as soon as you can. It's another great way for your clients to engage with you. And then when we look at the reasons why small businesses don't have websites, lack of technical knowledge. We're not here for the website building. We're here for the pet care. So, it can be a challenge. Some people think it's not relevant. Pet care is something that, it's performed in person. But having that website is kind of your backup and your introduction. So it's another piece that's really important to the whole pie there. A lot of people use social media instead, and that is totally fine. If you have a strong presence on social media, that is perfect. The last thing is the cost. Websites can be expensive depending on who you go with and what options you choose. Websites can be a little bit pricey, so there are some things that hold you back there. So it looks like everyone today either has a Facebook page or a website, so that's great to hear. All right, so let's talk about website must-haves. So the first thing is to make it easier for other people to learn about you. So that's the number one thing. When we think about top things that you'll need to have, your services, the service area, your company policies, a contact form, and then put yourself in their shoes. What would you want to know as you're hiring someone to take care of your pets? When we talk about service areas, one thing I want to stress here too, include the state that you're in. There are so many different towns in various states that are surrounding each other that are very similar. Sometimes you can search for that particular town. And I've had some businesses say, yeah, I get, inquiries all the time from like the same town in Iowa. So make sure it's very clear where you're located. Next, make it SEO optimized. So we'll show you the basics here. Don't be too overwhelmed. It's not scary. It's actually a lot easier than you think. There are some small ways to get started. And then, of course, as you're learning more and you're feeling more comfortable with building out your website, you'll be able to kind of scale that and make SEO be a little bit more involved in your website. All right. So the importance of SEO for your website. I'm going to try to launch another poll here. Sorry, my control panel's over on the wrong screen. All right. And let's go ahead and see how many of you are familiar with SEO. All right, it's not letting me launch that, but that's okay. Generally, SEO is one of those topics that, some people struggle with. There is a lot to learn, but it doesn't have to be super complicated. If you're not sure what SEO is, I'll give you the Google explanation and then I'll give you my explanation. So from Google, this is, if you look at what search engine optimization is, the first Google result you'll see, it is the process of maximizing the number of visitors to a particular website by ensuring the site appears high on the list of results returned by a search engine. That sounds like a lot. So my definition is, you spruce up your website and make it a little bit more organized with keywords and formatting so that Google knows how to find you and when they should display your website when people are searching for results. So around 70% of website traffic starts with Google. That seems pretty high, but when you think about it, I don't know about you, but most of the time when I'm looking for something in particular, I'll just head right over to Google and type it in. Even if I know exactly what website I'm going to, sometimes it's just easier to Google it first. So about 70% of website traffic starts with Google. And that means that search engine optimization is crucial. We have to make sure that we're trying to make sure that our website is optimized and displayed in those results. So SEO is directly connected to search engine queries, and that accounts for about 40% of the website traffic in general. And over here, we have this chart, and it explains the frequency of online searches for local businesses. So if you look at it, about 20, 40, about 70% maybe are doing at least weekly or more searches for those online and local businesses. So it's really important to make those optimized. Local businesses are something that people are searching for all the time. Whether the keywords be near me or the town's name, it really helps narrow down those results. So that's number one of the things that you can do to help optimize. All right, a couple SEO tips and best practices. So I spoke with Kyle Morse at Simply Yours Concierge a couple months ago, and one of his tips was to optimize for local SEO by adding your service area zip codes to your website. You can add them in like the footer of your website or even your service area listing the towns and the zip codes. But that was one of his number one tips as to how he ranks so highly in Google in those search results. So even if it's kind of low or hidden on your website, that type of information can help you better rank in those searches. The next is to do your keyword research. So here's where, kind of the digging into things part comes in. You really got to figure out what people in your area are searching for and what keywords that you should use in your website. So you can use Google Keyword Planner to identify some terms and then use them throughout your site. Of course, use them strategically. You don't really want to pop them in everywhere. If it makes sense to add keywords like that, you want to do so, but you don't want it to feel like you're just stuffing. Keyword stuffing is not going to be that helpful, and pet parents and other visitors are going to notice the difference of keyword stuffing and then when you're just kind of organically adding those keywords to your website. The next is to create high quality content. So blog posts, training tips, other relevant topics and ideas. You want to keep it informative and engaging. So other kind of content ideas that you can have for your website, what a typical service, a walk or a drop-in visit looks like, local walking spots, dog-friendly swimming holes. I know one of our clients, Tracy, is always at the dog swimming holes with her dogs. I know my dog, Ruby, would absolutely love a day with her. And I know that's one of the things as a pet parent that I always struggle with, where I can bring my dog where she can swim that's maybe off leash or is dog friendly. So that might be something where you could add that to your website for other pet parents to find. And then in their search for looking for, those friendly swimming options, they stumble across your website. And then maybe that plants the seed for them to come back to it in the future and maybe book services with you. Another idea is enrichment. So on those rainy days, or if you have a dog that needs a little bit of a brain teaser and activity, it's always great to post content like that on your website. It can help with SEO and also helps your pet parents. Pet safe recipes and dog safe human food. I have a Google Home, and when I'm very guilty of giving my dog scraps, so I will start with that. I'm always asking Google, "Hey Google, can my dog eat cucumbers or peppers or whatever it may be?" So Google will, use that search as a result, and they'll tell me, what types of things my dog can eat, and that's based on search results. So that'll say from the website, whatever the website is, dogs can eat X, Y, and Z. So that's just another kind of idea for content for your website. What content and kind of unique ideas do you have for your website? Anyone want to speak up and share?
I was doing, well, I don't have my website set up yet, but I was planning to do like best local cafes that have a dog menu and things like that, since people in the neighborhood like to go out and want to have places that their dogs are welcome to be at.
I love that idea. That's such a good idea. I know that's one of the things I always struggle with too, is where I can bring my dog to like a cafe or an outdoor area where she can, dine with me as well. Great idea, Tracy. Um, if you're looking for ideas, I know Dogs of Charm City has like a full branded guide of dog friendly spots in the Baltimore area. So check that out. And I'll send that in the follow up email for this as well. So you can check it out too. The next thing you can do is include quality backlinks. So this is your internet street cred, if you will. So your town resources pages, maybe an apartment complex business listing, professional pet care organizations, any other websites that will link to your website. And that lets Google know that, hey, this page, they know what they're doing. Others are connecting with it. Others are referring traffic to that website. So it gives you a little bit more credibility. The next thing you do, keep it fresh. So all of your content, try to make it up to date. You'll rank higher with more recent and up to date content. Your blog post from 2010 probably isn't going to help too much. So give it a little facelift, a refresh. You'll also want to check for broken links and links that are maybe old or expired. The last thing is loading speed. So this one's an important one. When you go to your website, just make sure that it doesn't take a long time to load. Google will kind of ding you for that. And then also it interrupts the pet parent experience as well. If you want to get an overall health check of your website, you can do that through Google Search Console or even SEMrush. All right, so here is Google Keyword Planner. So as we're looking into keywords for our website, this is one of the free tools that you can use. So at the top here in the orange box, you'll see I've typed in pet sitting Boston, Massachusetts. So I entered that keyword there, and then it'll populate some results based on what I've entered. So results will be shown here, and then of course the suggestions below. So there's a couple things that you want to look for. The first is the average monthly searches. So this will tell you how many searches for this one particular keyword have been kind of searched in Google during that time frame. And then at the top of your screen here, here's where you'll set that time frame. So I have it set for August 22 to July 2023. The next thing you'll want to look for is the competition. So this lets you know how many other websites are ranking for that keyword. And if there's a lot of them and it's going to be difficult to rank for that keyword, it'll let you know. It looks like pet sitting Boston, Mass is a medium competition. So it is one that you can try to target. Just understand that others are also targeting that keyword as well. Pet sitter Boston, low competition. So this might be a keyword that you would want to target just because others aren't ranking for it as strongly. So you might be the top result for that keyword just based on the competition there. So this is a great free tool to use as you're working on including keywords in your website so that you can better optimize your website for search engines and kind of up your SEO game. All right, besides keywords, there's a lot more to SEO, so we're just going to cover the basics today. The first is headline tags, heading tags. So this is like if the bones are good, it's the structure of your website, it's the hierarchy of information on the page. It should never be based on style. So, you don't want to use the big header tag as just a stylistic thing. You want to make sure this says, okay, this is what this website is about. And here's little sub pieces of this. So you want to make sure that your heading tags are all kind of organized in a way that makes sense so that Google can easily read and understand what type of content this website has. The next are meta descriptions. So a meta description is displayed here for our website. So it's just kind of a quick overview of what is on that website. So I like to say it's the website's elevator pitch. So it's just a quick little tidbit of information. You can customize this and change it so that it's super relevant to what you're offering. So you'll be able to edit that in your website as well. The last thing here is alt text. So this is what Google will use to understand what types of content you have on your website from an image perspective. So describes the photo to the search engine, and you should also rename your files of the images that you're adding to your website. Make them descriptive so that helps with your SEO too. So for example, if I have a picture of a dog on my website, I can even say cute dog photo or something like that, or dog at pet sitting or dog going for a walk, something like that to describe to Google what this image is. All right, social media and content. How are you guys creating high quality content? I know that's always a struggle, creating content that people care about and want to engage with. What's one of the ways that you guys are using to create content for your websites? I'd love to hear from you.
So it's Tracy again. So sometimes it's a struggle. But I do pay attention to like some of the national, like or super popular, dog Instagram accounts that have like 100,000 followers and everything. So sometimes I'll like copy some of their memes, like the one with like a dog, like on the phone where it looks like they're FaceTiming their parents and making a funny comment or something. So I think that's cool. But I love tips. So like for the season, so we can offer like summer tips about, like safety about like hot sidewalks or making sure your dogs drink a lot of water. And then I always want to do hyper local things because I want, my followers to pay attention to me and to see that, like I'm part of the community. But I'm always interested in what my followers are asking questions about, and kind of what's trendy, but not like super trendy, but just what's happening in the community, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. And Tracy, out of curiosity, when you're posting content, are you posting it to Facebook, Instagram, stories, or posts? What types of mediums do you have?
Yeah, absolutely. So I have all three of them actually, and I try to balance through. What you said about earlier about your face being super popular in Reels, I found that's totally true. I am camera shy, and you wouldn't guess it, but I hate it having my face on post. But all those posts are super popular. Like people really, really, really like them, which I hate. So I do Reels, but I use Canva to create stuff and be creative and stop myself from doing other things I should be doing. So I try to balance it all through. Across, especially since I don't have my website set up yet. I feel like I have to be like super, super active since Instagram is like my main way of reaching out to people for now.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. And
Of course.
so interesting when people are saying the thing about, having your face on your posts, and people really do engage with it so much more. But if you think about it, I don't know about you, but I follow so many dog accounts and like pet care accounts, and I don't know, that's just stuff I care about and I enjoy and I like to see. So when I'm scrolling through, I see pets and pets and pets. So it's nice to see a face every now and then. And, I feel like I can connect with that on a personal level. So I really enjoy that. And I totally hear what you're saying there. And great idea about keeping it hyper local too. You want to create content that's relevant to your area and so that your pet parents specifically can connect with that too. So thank you for sharing that, Tracy. Anyone else want to share ideas about how they're creating content or what others are engaging with on their pages?
Hi, this is Debbie.
Hey, Debbie.
Um, I have a website, but I don't have an Instagram account. So um how advantageous is it to have the Instagram, and how do you use it?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I will say Instagram is one of those things that's growing in popularity. I think it's more catered towards people who are maybe in like the millennial or younger generation. It can be for, people who are in older generations as well, but I think it's another platform that really does help you engage with your pet parents and your clients. Out of curiosity, and everyone else, feel free to chime in as well, do you all have a preference between Facebook or Instagram, or if there's another platform that you're using? Which platforms do you find are most, kind of maybe you get the best reach from, or you get the most engagement from? Anyone else want to share? And I'll get back to your question, Debbie.
Hi, this is Maritza.
Hey, Maritza.
Hey, yeah, no, I'm stepping in here. Sorry, I was a little late. I thought the call was a little bit later. But this is perfect because I really have my strongest. I use mainly Instagram because I'm a millennial myself, so I'm very good at using the trends of reels and posts around my Instagram, and I rarely actually use Facebook, or I do have a website, but I feel like the more visibility I get is from my Instagram. But I also kind of wanted to ask if what's kind of the best way to grow an audience and gain more followers, but mainly from people in the area, which would benefit me more than just followers in general.
Definitely. That's a great question. And thank you so much for sharing that. As you had mentioned, I do feel like Instagram is one of the best platforms to connect with others. In terms, when you think about your website, it's kind of like an island, if you will. It's, nothing really connects to it all that much other than your social media pages. You're getting eyeballs there when, people are searching for you on Google, but they're not really going to stumble across it in other ways. So I really think that Facebook and Instagram in particular are great for that. One of the best ways I think you can kind of grow your following locally is by connecting with other small businesses in the area. Follow each other's pages, maybe create some kind of co-content where you have like two accounts that are creating content together. I think that's one of the best ways to like, share, engage. All of those things will really help. One of the things that you'll see in the next slide here is the rule of thirds with social media. So 1/3 will be posting your own content, and then 1/3 will be sharing others' content. So if you have other local businesses in your area, maybe even other dog adjacent type pet care services or something like that, share their content. Professional organizations even, you can share their content, and then the other third is to engage. So like and follow and message. All of these things will really help you kind of grow your community as well. But it also, with the algorithm, kind of gives you a little bit more of a boost there with your content.
Great. Thank you so much. This is very helpful.
Yeah, of course. I'm happy to help. Debbie, does that answer your question about Instagram, or do you need any more clarification there?
Well, I'm just not sure what kind of content to to put on there. I'm from the older generation, and I've been a pet sitter for 12 years, and I just recently, the past 2 years, bought the business that I was working for. So, and it was struggling, and now it's beginning to build, but it's not building as fast as what I want it to. And I just don't know the different routes. I don't know Instagram, and I don't know Twitter, and I don't,
Yeah, of
um,
course.
I'm
And
not
one of my
familiar with
one of
the
my
social media.
recommendations would be to pick a platform and do it really well. So if you don't feel like Instagram is your jam, that's fine. Maybe really, lean into Facebook or something that you are really comfortable with. And
Well,
then
I
you
have
can
a
always,
Facebook page, but I don't add a lot of content to it.
Mhm.
I don't I don't maintain it well. And
Yes,
and I don't the people have tried, clients have tried to put reviews or ratings on there, and it's not accepting it. So I don't know what I'm I don't know what I'm doing, as far as Facebook and social media.
yeah, Debbie, I would be also happy to connect with you. Maybe you and I can set up some time and I can try to figure out what's going on with your reviews, or we can just set up maybe a call for some strategy. Others, if you have ideas and want to chime in
Oh
as
my
well,
God,
of
that would be
course.
great. And
Yeah, of
and to top
course.
it all off is I just rebranded. I changed my website. I changed the platform. I just got onto Pet Pocketbook. I changed the um, my business name, uh, everything. So I just finished creating the new website, and that I'm kind of with business. I'm kind of just I was stuck there for a little bit. So I mean,
Yeah,
it's up and
definitely.
running, and I'm getting reviews on my website from Google.
That's
Um,
awesome.
but it's just I feel a little stagnant.
Totally hear you there. And it's a challenge to be creative. Sometimes after a long day of, caring for pets, the last thing you want to do is, create posts and post pictures and be clever with your captions and everything. So there are some tools that you can use that will help you generate content. And what I like to do is repurpose content. So if you have a review, maybe post that to your Facebook page or your Instagram page. You can use I know, Maritza, you mentioned Reels. Reels are really popular on Instagram. There's trending sounds that you can use. One of the things that you could do is make a reel of, the different reviews that you've received recently. Or one of the things that I've seen recently is funny things that pet parents have left in their pet pocketbook profiles, and then doing like a meet the pet type thing where they'll show a picture of the pet and then like some funny things that they've left in their profile, or maybe a day in the life of of you and what you're doing for your care. So kind of give your pet parents the inside scoop as to some of the things that they can expect when they would be working with you. Have any of you ever heard or tried using Canva or Chat GPT? I know a lot of you probably are already using Canva. Tracy, I see you waving there, so I know you're a Canva user.
I've used both.
Awesome. That's great to hear. And how was your experience with both of them?
Um, Both of them can be overwhelming. Um, in Canva, I needed to do a project this week, and literally there were like 3,000 templates for this one project that I wanted to do. Um, and then Chat GPT is, like you said there, it is a place to start. Um, it's like email, like when we first learned how to do email, it's a technology, it's a place to start, but like you have to have a plan and you have to know how to talk to it. So it can do great things, but you have to know where to start.
Absolutely. And I think that's one of the points I will emphasize with any of these tools. It's a great place to start. And once you find something that works for you, you can create templates in Canva. So that's branded to you. That way, every time you're creating posts, you're not reinventing the wheel. You can really repurpose things, and that saves yourself some time too. So one of the best tools that you can use, I think, is Canva. It's really affordable or free, depending on which type of package you have. And then for Chat GPT, there's so much that you can do, and I'm learning more and more about this every day. But essentially, you can just enter different prompts, and it will help you create content around that. Here is something that I created in Canva. So there is a magic write feature that you can you give it a prompt and then it will create content for you. So I asked Magic Write, write a social media caption about the benefits of regular exercise for dogs. This is the caption that it came up with. Happy pup, happy life. Regular exercise not only keeps your furry friend fit, but also helps them improve their mood and behavior. Take your dog for a walk or run today and watch them thrive. And then they added these hashtags and emojis as well. And then I also did text to image. I would not recommend this one. As you can see, the first dog looks like he has a bucket on his paw. The second one, there's something going on with his nose. The third one's a little bit better, but I asked a black dog wearing a yellow collar going for a walk in the woods, and this is what it came up with. So generally, probably better to use actual photos of the pets that you're working with. They'll be a lot cuter and maybe not be as pixelated. So, it's a starting place. This prompt for creating captions for social media, I think, is really helpful. Maybe you could change this up a little bit. Let me take your dog for a walk or a run today, or something like that, where there's a call to action that lets your pet parents know what the expected kind of next step is for them, or get them thinking about your different types of services.
Nicole, can I make a recommendation?
Yeah, of course.
There's an app called Magi that a friend recommended, and it's super awesome because it like combines like Chat GPT and it does all this stuff, and now it can make images. And again, you have to like check the images because some of them, but it can do like images. You can ask it to do like Pixar like type images, and those are better. But I switched from Chat GPT to this because it like has more options and everything. But I actually just went through it and cleared out all of my weird images because some of the animal images have like 5 legs and things that are really kind of creepy and disturbing. So yeah, I
Definitely.
agree.
And is that a free tool or is that a paid tool?
So it's paid. It's $29 a month, but I had the paid version of Chat GPT, which I think was $20 a month. And then this has other stuff. So like in the end, I figured it actually balanced out because Chat GPT had a limit of, like what you could do and everything. But
Definitely.
it's a fun tool.
Very cool. Thanks for sharing that. I'll definitely look into it, and I'll also include that in our follow-up notes too. Awesome. So this is from ChatGPT. I asked and gave it a prompt, write a 500-word blog about healthy recipes for dogs and the benefits of nutritious meals for pets. You can click here to read the full blog if you're interested. But basically what it did is wrote this 500-word blog that I can now use on my website. So this is a different way where you'd be able to create kind of blogs or other content for your website to increase SEO, maybe content for your pet parents to get them engaged a little bit more. You can also ask ChatGPT to generate an SEO optimized blog post or create content. So if you're not sure what ChatGPT can do, just ask. It's, pretty cool, pretty intelligent. And although this might not be the best content, you'll be able to use this as a starting place. So if you see things in here where you'd like to elaborate or shorten things up, or even want to fact check this just to make sure that, all these foods are actually dog friendly, I would absolutely recommend doing that, just so you can make sure that this content is relevant to you, and also that it would be beneficial to your pet parents, and also website content that you actually care about and would like on your website. All right, so back to social media here. The rule of thirds, of course, posting your content, sharing content from others, and then engaging with others, and then be responsive as well. That's the number one thing that I would stress here. When other people comment or engage with them back, or comment on other people's posts, respond to your messages in a timely manner. All of those things will matter. And also be consistent. Pick a platform, stick with it. If you're not active on that page, consider sharing content from others. So maybe start by just sharing content on your Instagram or Facebook page. And then when you're feeling a little bit more confident and comfortable, create your own content. You can use multiple platforms. So Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok are usually the big 3. I'm curious which platforms you all use, and if any of you are using TikTok.
I know TikTok very well, but no, I'm not actually using it. I thought about using it, but because Reels have on Instagram have been taking so much importance, I felt like I would rather focus on Instagram than trying to do both for my part.
Definitely. I totally hear you there. And it's interesting because typically if you create uh, either reels in Instagram or content in TikTok and try to use that same content, the app can kind of tell it was created in another platform and it doesn't perform as well. Super interesting. I'm not really sure why, but that tends to be the case there. In your case, Maritza, I know you said that you know, are really doing well with the reels and it has been helping increase engagement. You know, that might be an example of where you'd want to stick with one platform and really lean into it. TikTok is one of those things I'm going to admit I'm not super familiar with. There are so many different platforms out there right now, so it's hard to kind of be on all of them. So like I said, if you feel most confident in either Facebook or Instagram, or even if that's TikTok, you know, you can always do one thing really well. Your pet parents are going to find you, you know, on the platforms that they're on as well. So think about your clientele, you know, where are most of them? Are they on Facebook? Are they on Instagram? Are they, you know, maybe younger and on TikTok? Just think about that and keep that in mind as well. So make it a video. This is also one of the number one things. They'll generate about 1,200% more shares than text and image content combined. So I know videos can be a little bit more time consuming, but you can always do, you know, pick stitches, put different pictures together, do different sounds and text. There's definitely some options, and there are a lot of templates out there too to help give you a start. All right. Sorry, I accidentally skipped too far ahead. All right, so the next thing is get personal. I know we already talked about showing your face on your post here. The next thing I'll recommend is sharing some personal content as well. So a local florist in my area actually posted this and I screenshotted it and I wanted to share it with you all today. If you're noticing you don't have super high engagement or maybe things are a little bit slower than they used to be, maybe switch it up here. So she had recently shared that about 2 months ago, she started to share content in her stories outside of just like flower content. And this is the results of that. And I thought that was really interesting that, you know, she reached 53% more accounts. The engagement increased by 60% and, you know, a couple little bit of increase in the followers there. So it was really interesting to see that. I personally follow her and I noticed she changed her photo from just like her logo to her face. And that made a big difference for me. I paid attention to a little bit more in Instagram in particular, or anytime you have a profile photo, if it's a logo, sometimes it can be skipped. So people like, oh, okay, it's a business, or I'm associating with that with something like that, and they might skip over it. So if you can make it, you know, a pet, or even if you can make it your face, something like that, it comes off as more organic, and the experience that pet parents will have with it, it's a little bit different. So I thought this was really interesting and wanted to share it with you all. Have curious, how many of you include personal content on your Facebook page and kind of social media, or do you keep it strictly business?
I
Hi.
have a little.
Yeah, I do get more personal on stories, way more, but on posts, I usually only post pets. But that's something I'm like trying to, now that I read all this and hear all this, I think I'm gonna try to get more personal on postings as well.
Yeah, it's super interesting and definitely one of those things where, you know, you can try it, see what type of engagement that results in. And if you guys have the Instagram business account, you'll have this professional dashboard as well, where you'll be able to see the results of your efforts. Tracy, did you say that you post your personal content as well?
Yes, basically, kind of in stories too. I'm always reluctant to do it a little bit, but again, I see that it gets more likes and people seem to be more comfortable with it. So yeah.
Definitely. And out of curiosity, do you all ever do polls or like reactions in your stories where people can engage with your stories more than just like liking it or tapping?
I do, but since I'm kind of new and I only have about like 250 followers, I don't really get a lot of responses, but I do include them there with the stories, but I don't really get a lot of responses. I'm going to keep doing it because apparently that's really good, but yeah, not a lot yet.
Definitely. And I think that's one of the things that where consistency is really helpful too in engaging with other people. When you engage, people remember that and then they'll keep an eye out for your content as well. So if you're engaging, they can engage with you as well. So that's something that I've noticed in our Pet Pocketbook account and social media too. All right. So when in doubt, don't reinvent the wheel, repurpose your content, have a blog, make it a video. You know, you're creating content that probably takes a lot of time or not a lot of time, but you've worked really hard on it. You're trying to be creative, repurpose that content, stretch it out, make the most of it. Blog posts can be social media posts, can be videos, and that way you can get the most out of your content. The other thing that I think is really important, share reviews on social media as well. People don't always go to your website or they might not always see things on your Google page. So I would always recommend tossing in a review every now and then. You can create a template in Canva for this or even make a review video. Different ways to kind of engage and make it a little bit more fun. You can repurpose your report card photos too. So that's one of the easy things here. You're already taking photos of the pets. You can always post that. People always really like to see the actual report cards themselves because your pet parents can see what the experience would be like for them. So besides just the photo, you can include the screenshot saying, we did this today, or the pee and poop icons to let them know. It lets them know that you have this app and you're a little bit more professional so that they can look forward to that themselves. The other thing you'll notice in Pet Pocketbook, you'll get an email with upcoming birthdays. So this gives you the opportunity to maybe do a birthday post. You can do, a video with that, or you can just do a standalone piece of content. But it's something that you already have, so you don't have to take a lot of time to do it. Sometimes I'll do like that on our Pet Pocketbook page and show what our birthdays were and, have you guys share your birthdays for your pet parents and your families as well. And it's always really fun. All right. Do you all have a Google business profile? All right. I would definitely recommend setting one up. So this will really help you increase your Google local results. So if someone types in dog walker, a pet sitter near me, your results will come up in this section. So on the right side of my screen here, this is the result that it'll show. So it'll always show 3. So your aim is always to be in that top 3. It'll show the most relevant listings first. So if it's local and it's nearby, it'll always list those first before maybe other content. So if you're not showing up in the Google kind of website listings, it'll have a separate kind of local listing there, which is really helpful for your pet parents to easily find you. So when I searched this near me, this is what came up. And these are actually 2 Pet Pocketbook clients. So that was really fun to see.
Cool.
Do you have a question? Sorry.
Well, no, I wanted to make a statement. I have a Google business profile, and before I rebranded, I was showing up in the top 3 for my area, but now that I've rebranded, I'm not showing up at all. So, that's another issue that I'm dealing with.
Yeah, definitely. That's super frustrating because I know you've probably worked really hard to get those results there. I'd be interested to hear a little bit more. Have you got any recent reviews that clients have posted, or have
I
you
did.
shared
I
any
just got a
additional photos?
review. I just got a review last week, a new
Awesome.
review. So, and I was able to transfer the reviews from the old business name to the new one, but I'm just not showing up on Google searches. The business itself is not showing up, not unless you type in the name.
Interesting.
Then it shows up.
Yeah, definitely. And have you spoke to Google at all or emailed their customer center to see maybe why that may be the case?
Not yet,
Interested if they
because
shared anything.
I was thinking that maybe it had something to do that I don't have the SEO set up correctly on the website, and it's just not, um, just it's the bots are not, you know, finding it when they search. I that I don't I'm not sure of yet, but I thought it had to do maybe with SEO.
Yeah, I'll take a look at your listing after today's call to see if there's anything I can help with. Um, it might just be the case that you need to re-index your page. So I'll take a look at it and see what I can help with.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. And also always encourage your clients to leave photos with their reviews too. Listings with more photos tend to get more engagement, tend to be kind of boosted to the top of the results there. Super frustrating to hear that once you rebranded, you kind of lost some of that progress, but hopefully we can get you back to where you were. All right, so when you create your profile, you'll want to add some of your basic information there. So your name, the address, your phone number, and try to add something that makes you unique. All of this information can help you stand out. There's a very long list of categories, so I'd recommend only adding categories that are relevant to you. It's not one of the cases where the more categories you add, the better. It's more relevant and more helpful for your listing to add just the categories that are relevant to you. And again, those photos for your listing are always really important. So you can add your own photos, or you can ask your pet parents to always include those photos with their reviews, and that will help out. Speaking of reviews, you can collect more reviews to your page using this link right here. So in your own listing, that will be shown there. Ask clients to upload photos from their reviews. You can also ask them to just use those pictures from their report cards. If they're using PetPocketbook, they'll have those sent right to them. So have their photos from their actual visit with you. Don't forget about Facebook too. That's another area where you can create you can ask your clients for reviews and collect them there too. If you have a really strong Facebook presence, or maybe you don't have a website yet, that's a great place to collect reviews as well. The other thing, and something else that's pretty important I want to stress here, we often ask for reviews, but it's really important that you reply to reviews as well. Try to be timely in your response. It's just as important as the review itself. So try to respond to reviews, whether that be on Facebook or even on Google. Another place where you can ask for reviews is through your invoice emails in PetPocketbook. So in your account settings, you'll have a custom note that is always added to all of your invoices. So when pet parents receive their emails with their invoices, it'll have this note attached here. So you can add, however they can pay you. And then, if they're extra happy with their care, here's a link for the Google review. And then when they get it in their email, they'll have the link right there for them so that you can easily collect reviews using PetPocketbook. And that's sent to them automatically with each bill that's sent out through the system. Other PetPocketbook things that I wanted to share with you today, adding a button to the client login. So that's one of the top things that you can do, but you can take it a step further by making it a clear call to action for your pet parents so that they know, how they can reach out to you, how they can book services through you, and all of that, pay through invoicing, all through the platform. So it's kind of like an intro there. The other thing is streamlining your new client intake process. So with PetPocketbook, once a client's added, you can ask them to fill out their profile right in PetPocketbook, maybe ahead of a meet and greet. So ask the pet parents to do their homework ahead of that meet and greet. And then at the meet and greet itself, you can review all the information that they've added to their profile. At the end, you can update any new things you learned. I know sometimes pet parents think their pets are a little bit more well behaved than they are, or maybe they have an allergy that they forgot about. So you can always update that in their profile at any time. And then the nice thing about PetPocketbook too is you can send documents right through the system. So if you have a service agreement, maybe send that after the meet and greet when you've confirmed that you'll be working with that family. So there's a couple different ways that you can streamline that process. We have blogs for both of these, but I also wanted to show you a really good example of where someone included information about PetPocketbook on their website. So this is from the Right Pet Sitters website. On their main navigation bar in the menu, it says Pet Parent Login in all capitals. So it's really clear as to what it is. And then this is the page that it brings you to. It explains what PetPocketbook is, that it's user-friendly, and then there's an image carousel that shows you what PetPocketbook will look like from the pet parent perspective and how it will work. So it already lets the pet parents know, what app you'll be using, and it maybe gives it a little bit more of a professional flair. Below this is more information about PetPocketbook, your invitation, requests, invoices, and payments, and then, of course, that account dashboard. At the very bottom of the page, it also gives a very clear call to action to get your invitation for PetPocketbook. So because PetPocketbook is invite only for your pet parents, they'll need an email to be added to the system. You'll want to collect that from them right away. So to book an appointment, you need your invitation for PetPocketbook and include that form right below. A really good example of invoices and payments through the system. This is through a Pet's Best Friend, their website. And they'll easily show you, what those booking looks like in the pet parent profile, and then also an example of what the invoices look like as well. So if you do choose to accept payments outside of PetPocketbook, again, you'll be able to add that to the custom note that we saw when you collect your reviews. But you can also let them know that they can pay right through the system. And if you do accept other options, maybe you can add a link for that on your website. So your pet parents will know that they'll be billed through PetPocketbook, but there are other options available to them as well. All right, so here are some resources from other pet care professionals. Pet Marketing Unleashed, everything from your website to your SEO. They're going to be the experts here. They have a lot of really great content that's super easy to follow along with as well. So I highly recommend them. If you're looking to tackle your Google My Business page, Pet Sitter SEO is going to be the #1 resource there. They have a lot of information and very active in Facebook groups too. So I know Amy is always sharing her tips. So it's really helpful and I highly recommend them. From a content creation perspective and other podcasts, of course, Wear, Wag, Repeat, and Pet Sitter Confessional. I'm sure you are all familiar with them. And then one of my favorites for advanced Canva tips, if you're looking to kind of take your content to the next level, is the Creative Cat Studio. She has a lot of really kind of like hidden tips and tricks in Canva that I found really helpful as I'm kind of creating content in Canva. It gives that elevated feel of maybe this was created by a designer and not someone who's just kind of using Canva. If you're looking for more of the videos and how-tos, Doug the Dog Guy on YouTube is awesome. If you're more of a kind of learner by seeing things and really seeing how things work before you actually kind of fully understand that. I know SEO can be a lot. Doug is really awesome there. He's very knowledgeable and very responsive if you do have questions. If you're not on Facebook and you're not in the pet care groups, definitely request to be added to them. That's a really great resource as you're learning from others too. It's always great to hear what's been working or maybe what's been a little bit more challenging for pet care professionals. So your peers are always a great resource. And of course, all of you, we'd love to do this again with you. It's really helpful hearing from others. And I like to kind of build this community together, facilitate more networking and opportunities for us to all connect. We really love being able to support all of you. It really does make me feel good at the end of the day to be working with small businesses like yours. It's really important to support small businesses. And that's one of the things that we really love doing with you. And of course, we love pets. So at the end of the day, that's what it's really about, making the lives better for the pet parents and for the pets themselves. Are you all interested in doing this again? And if so, what's a good time for you? This was the first time, so I kind of picked a 3 p.m. Eastern time slot, and I wasn't sure if that would be, a beneficial time for everyone. If there's a better time, let me know. I'm definitely open to doing this at another time. I'd also love if you could share other ideas for what you'd like to see or discuss next. I know we covered a lot today, but if you're looking for more of a deep dive on any one of these things, or if you'd like to have an expert join us, I'd love to know more about that so that we can try to get more involved. And of course, we'd love to build these over time. So spread the word about these. Anyone's invited, whether they're a PetPocketbook client or not. We'd love to have them. And of course, if you're interested in being the expert for the next session, maybe Maritza, if you want to talk more about how you create reels on Instagram, we'd love to have you. So feel free to reach out to us at any time. But otherwise, thank you so much for joining me. This is my dog, Ruby. She's crying because she wants to go outside. So we're going to go play fetch in the backyard now. But thank you all so much for joining. If you do have questions, feel free to stick around and let me know. Otherwise, I will be sending a follow-up survey here. So I'd love your feedback.